Hello, welcome. Let's get this started. Jump right
what's
in.
On your mind? You got it.
Kalonord is dead, Lord Malik. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Kalo's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malik?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend.
This is the guy that killed Trask at the beginning of the game.
Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
How can I help?
We've already been over this. It was a moment of weakness, a stumble brought on by unbridled passions. But my emotions are firmly in check once more. We need to stay focused on stopping Darth Malik. And I want the others to stay focused as well. I don't want them to get suspicious and start gossiping about our little encounter. So until our mission is over, we need to act with discretion. We shouldn't speak of this anymore. Not until Malik is defeated.
Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
Yes. I was remembering Taris. No, it's all right. I think I am over the worst of it. I apologize again for lashing out at you. It was not your fault. It was a horrible place to have to live. At least in the lower cities where the non-humans tended to get relegated. Living for years in a place with no sun, living off the trash dropped from the upper levels, and the meager pay doing back-breaking labor. There was always the danger of Rakuls coming up from the sewers, or more mundane predators living and working in the area. My family and I struggled each and every day to make something of our lives. But we could only go so far. Taxes from the corrupt government, more fees from the gangs controlling the streets, and whatever was left paying for what food and medical supplies we could afford. With no money to spare for any amenities, even the enclave on Dantooine seems a paradise in comparison. And of course, there was the constant bigotry and hate from the more affluent and human citizens, lording their wealth over us living below. Every once in a while, a rich human would come down through the lower levels with his droid entourage just to see how the wildlife lived and laughed at the mockeries that were our successes. But I have come to meet many decent humans in my travels since those days. Indeed, some of the greatest people I have ever met are human. The Jedi who encouraged me to join the Order. The one who was with the group going to fight the Mandalorians. She was human. I am sorry. I am getting away from my point. If there even was one. Sometimes I curse the day my parents fled to Taris. But then again, if they had not, I would not be where I am today. Another story for another.
Got something on your mind, do you? You got yourself a fast little ship? I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful. Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing? I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha. No, but it could be. An Anduvian salt tablet would clear that right up, you know. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was. No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall. I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring. Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too, or those could have just been gurgling noises. No, well, anyway. Finally, Krat
Could
has
have
enough
just
of
been
Andor and
gurgling
tosses him
noises.
aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing. Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you? What, are you kidding? What are the odds of that happening anyway? 1,000,000,000 to 1? You should do so well as to be sucked into the engine of some evil Sith Lord, you know. Andor was a hero. Sort of. Anyway, go on.
Cha skronki to patslimo. Chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Kin
There's no sound.
achua penki. Yun patisa. Ti chuba tong ituama ji human ak in ikatune. Chon muli ra tong pa. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune ki mulira kun king. Ki mulira kun king. Tong hi ki muli
Huh? Yes?
Got something on your mind? No, I never did I? Of course you do. I know things, remember? You think you can make it around this part of the galaxy without me? But don't answer that. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on. To bed. I'm old and tired, you know. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask? So I could. Well, not having a ship does tend to put a damper on that kind of idea, however. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued. Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you, but... I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick. Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can be all bad. Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting. Oh, stop being such a baby. Are you always so quick to turn aside an ally? Got too many of them, do you? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
Kipuna, bona na kichu. Salima wanga. Mucho shakapa. Mucho shakapak. Mucho shakapak. Mucho shakapak. Tong ki ba. Tong abuk. Tong abuk. Tong ki ba. Salima wang. Tong abuk. Mucho shakapak. Tong abuk. Tong ki ba. Kipuna. 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 Salima wang. Kipuna. Mucho shakapaka. Mucho shakapaka. Tong abuk. Mucho shakapaka. Mucho shakapaka. Mucho shakapaka. Salima wanga kun. Mucho shakapa. Mucho shakapa. Mucho shakapaka. Mucho shakapa. Mucho shakapaka. Tong abuk. Mucho shakapaka. Salima wanga. Kipuna. Kipuna. Salima wanga. Kipuna. Kipuna. Tong ki ba. Tong ki ba. Tong abuk. Mucho shakapa. Salima wanga. Kipuna. Kipuna. Tong ki ba. Kipuna. 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 Tong ki ba. Salima wang. Tong ki ba. Salima wang. Tong ki ba. Salima wang. Mucho shakapak. Mucho shakapak. Tongki ba. Mucho shakapan. Tongki ba. Tongki ba. Mucho shakapan. Selima wanga. Kipuna. Bona. Tongki ba non. Tong abuksh. Tong abuksh. Tongki ba non tonte.
How may I be of... What is it you would like? Of course.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manan is covered by nothing but vast oceans. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star.
Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
How may I be... What is it you would... Of course. If that...
Got something on your... Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older. Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking and prodding you with questions, do you? I'm not here to satisfy your curiosity. No staring at the old man, that's what the sign says, damn it. And besides, you don't really want to hear about me. We're talking ancient history, probably before you were born. History bores kids. Proven fact. Oh, fine, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now? I wasn't even done with my Jedi training back then. I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The Council was never happy with willful, brash Jolee Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career. Don't look at me like that, damn it. I wasn't always the wrinkled coot I am now, you know. I can still fight, too. So wipe off that smirk I see there. At the time, the Yukata system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor, all the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace, but they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner, and we began smuggling food and supplies to the Yukata citizenry through the blockade. Oh, it was. I was a half-decent pilot in those days, and with the Force guiding me, we made it through some tough spots nobody else would have. Pilot, smuggler, several other things too. Or did you suppose I was always a crotchety hermit? Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just, knew had more than they could use. Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone Yukatish frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the Force had abandoned me, as I remember. Well, as it happens, getting shot down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day Well, that was the day I met my wife. It's all right. When you're digging through the trash, you shouldn't be surprised when you encounter something unpleasant. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop talking now. My mouth is starting to draw flies.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the galactic senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. No, really, I should apologize. I should try to control myself. Is there anything I can help you? Of course. If you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master.
Carth! Carth Onesi, is that you?
Jordo?
It is you, isn't it? I knew it when I laid eyes on you. You old space dog. How've you been? I thought for sure you'd be fighting on some ship out there.
I was. I crashed.
That's pretty rich. I can't imagine what it would take to keep you on. Must have something to do with your friend here, eh? How's it going?
So what are you doing here, Jordo? Last time I saw you was on, well, Telos, actually.
Yeah, it's a shame about home. Telos still hasn't recovered. The family and I moved on, and I'm working for Zerka now. I didn't see you after... what I mean is, my condolences on your wife. I heard what happened. At least your boy made it through all right.
My boy? You mean Dustle?
Yes, of course. I saw him at my last stop on Korriban, though he didn't recognize me. You didn't know he was there?
No. Jordo, Dustle's been missing since the attack on Telos. Are you absolutely certain it was him?
Yeah, I'd recognize Dustil anywhere. Positive. He's joined the Sith, Garth.
What do you mean he's joined the Sith?
There's an academy for the Sith on Korriban. He's a student there. I saw him suited up in their outfit and everything. Sorry, I thought you knew.
No, I didn't. Well, thanks for telling me, Jordo.
Sure, no problem. Good to see you again, Garth. Hope everything works out with Dustil.
Dustil? Dustil is alive. We have to go to the Korriban Academy and find him. Thank you. I just have to see him. I have to know what happened to him. All this time I thought he was... I mean, he must be a man by now.
Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Kakincha nawabakaon. Pichage borang turang. Nada chawa. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune chunamuri ra. Tangi wama jikona. Tongkit pa nonku nek abog. Tong hit wama agi inko tune. Portangi mamaji aki inkotun. Tong panokun nonek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki mulira kun king. King ba nokun nik dorcha. Kakincha nawabakaon. Pichage borang turang. Nada chawa ish. Achua penki. Yun patisa. Tichuba jikotka naga. King. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji aki inkotun. Tong jiska dosoki. Kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smaktoma. Kuyami jusku chitanai. Uchua penki. Topa na ota vokas. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji aki inkotun. Tong panokun nonek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki muli jiska dosoki. Kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smaktoma. Kuyami jusku chitanai. Uchua penki. Topa na ota vokasa. Yubabato. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji aki inkotun. Chiwa aita kang chiwi aita ka chong chi. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama chiwa aita kang kicha na chupornibo. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang jiska dosoki. Kopa bono nakachu. Labora na Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji ag jiska dosoki. Kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smaktoma. Kuyami jusku. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji aki inko. Jiska dosoki. Kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smaktoma. Jiska dosoki. Kopa bono naka. Tong hitwama ag jiska dosoki. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inkotune chunamuri ra. Tong hitwama jikona. Tong kipa nonku nek abog. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji aki inkotun. Tong panokun nonek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki mulira kun king. King ba nokun nik dorcha. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inkotun. Chiwa aita kang kicha. Jiska dosoki. Kopa. Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji aki inko. Jiska dosoki. Kopa bon. Chiwi aita ka Tong hitwama ag inkotune. Portang hiwama ji aki. Jiska dosoki. Tong hitwama ag inko. Jiska dosoki. Tong hitwama. Jiska dosoki. Tong hitwama. Jiska dosoki. Tong hitwama. Jiska dosoki. Kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki. Tong hitwama.
Welcome to Manan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid. Oh, of course I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council. An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manan? Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first. We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Otto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Phyraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back. It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do. There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far. Good. It's a logical place to start. But you should also hear about the other options available to you. We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the wall. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a pass card to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. Here's the card. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they became aware of your presence, I fear you would be quickly outnumbered and killed. Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You should find all you need to get started in there. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the... Good call. Just make sure you don't push him too hard or we might lose him. I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see it.
Chopa chawa wisyun kun. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Chuba chi jopa kun wata. Kimba no kun nik dorcha. Tumirana no frata donko sercha doman toma. Chiska nichu. Kimba muli ratwanaji. Kimba no kun nikset abog. Kakincha nawabakaon. Tung abashun ni chunchi. Tahuba botenia go gigi piti. Just crunky to patslimo. Gino molirani bubo ton kimba no ku chiska nichu. Kimba mulirat wanaji. Kimba no ku nikset abog. Tahuba botenia go gigi. Uchua penki, tang itwamaji, human act in ikatune, chi itakanki chana. Chi wi aita ka chong chicha, agi inkotune, chuna muri ra, tang itwamaji kona, tong kipa non kunek abog. Tong hit wama ag iinkotune. Portang hi wama ji aki inkotun. Tong pa no kun, no nek. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Ki mulira kun king. King ba no kun nik dorcha. Chiwa ai chiwi aita chiwa ai. Jiska dosoki kopa bono nakachu. Tong hit wama ag Jiska dosoki kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smack toma. Kuyami jusku. Tong hit wama. Jiska dosoki kopa bono nak. Tong hit wama ag chiwi aita ka chongchi. Chiwa aita kang ki. Jiska dosoki tong hit wama ag iinkotun chiwi aita ka. Jiska dosoki kopa bono nakachu. Labora na winki smack toma. Kuya chiwa chiwi aita ka. Chiwi aita chiwa chiwi aita ka. Ki chiwi aita.
I've been given a challenge I can't ignore. We've got to go to the dune seas of... The sooner we get to Tatooine, the better.
How many... What is it you would... Of course. If that...
Got something on... I don't want to talk about that. Maybe, but I doubt it. I'm made stubborn.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to... Of course, if there is any... How may I be of... What is it you would like to speak to me about? Of course. If there is anything else, I am here.
Yeah?
Sure.
What?
Sure.
Ikukuno no ba mulira chikun. Tonghit kun chonching. Ne boboje mata ne punage. Dolpi kikiwana. Ci gratu loda bograshi oniu kompa cintomo mochuba. Loda dita kun. Ita patisa batua kacha tutong. Bagrasha kon. Kachi kun ita. Jeda badawana ni di bobo. Tong nabung siya nununya. Tong patukas magtalea. Chan shak bulara. Umrao chis kaduchi. On chuban jiska yanki. Titoke. Ronda di hotonga. Achuta. Ronda di hotonga.
Mucho shakapaka.
Tolpada.
Tipuna.
Takom justach mi.
Tong abuk. Tong ki. Selima.
Tong hait wa.
Got something on your mind? I don't want... Yes, you do. You may mean well enough, but my private affairs are just that. Private. Let me tell you something. Once you've lived as many years as I have, you'll have yourself a long, long list of memories. If you're lucky, most of them will be good. If you're not, some will be bad. If you're really unlucky, some will be so bad you never want to be reminded of them again, ever. You'll go far away, to a place that doesn't hold any memories at all. And there you'll be happy just to forget and be forgotten. You say that now, but I'm talking to you from across the breadth of many years' experience. That is a gap I simply can't cross for you. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in love? Truly in love, I mean, and not simple infatuation. Exactly. You're still at the beginning of your life. There will be women in your life, perhaps many women. But if you're fortunate, you'll find love once. The Jedi, with their damnable sense of over-caution, would tell you love is something to avoid. Thankfully, anyone who's even partially alive knows that's not true. Love doesn't lead to the dark side. Passion can lead to rage and fear, and can be controlled. But passion is not the same thing as love. Controlling your passions while being in love, that's what they should teach you to beware. But love itself will save you, not condemn you. Listen to me go on as if I had all the answers. What do I know of love anymore? I'm just a lonely... You do you? I wouldn't listen too closely. I'm no authority on anything. I just think that the greatest things in life shouldn't be avoided because they come with a few complications. Love causes pain, certainly. Inevitably, love is going to lead to as much sorrow and regret as it does joy. I suppose there are perfect, eternal loves out there, but I haven't seen any. And how do you deal with the bad part of love is what determines your character. Bah, a life without risk is boring. Is that how you want to live? You want love, you've got to fight. I'll tell you one thing. The trick is to know when that is. To know when it's time to fight and when it's time to part ways. And
Incoming fighters!
Yes?
Alright, everybody, we're going to cut it there.